Okay, welcome to week 3 of CS290. Um, actually, it's my second time I'm trying to record this. Actually, I had gone through a whole, all the detail, and I got to the end and I lost it. So I'm going to take another crack at it. That's why I'm going to be posting this a little bit later than I would ordinarily be. But so a couple of things I want to coming into week 3. We're moving along fairly well. Um, as I sent message out earlier this week, the quizzes should all be online and operational. We had issues with the data as it was transferred over into the Moodle when we were creating the Moodle class, the content in Moodle that was missing. Um, I think we've got that all tracked. I think we've got that all resolved. So I think that's all working now. All right. So, so a couple things. What we're going to focus on. So where we're at right now in the class is we've gone through our this first section here. There's a big area. It's a big area. You know, this topic one, the the planning and security program management. So it was a big, a lot of material in this. All right. So it kind of took us 2 weeks to work our way through it. So, we have mapped out kind of a starting point for how do what are the contents of this of a security program. So now we're going to kind of shift gears a bit, and we're going to start looking at what we call the security architecture. All right. So really, what a security architecture is really describes all of the aspects of what we need to do to secure um, organizational computing infrastructure. All right. So if you think of like any systems, the way a system is designed, the way it's laid out, we refer to that as the architecture. The combinations of um, servers and operating systems and platforms and databases and all of that, networking, all those different pieces, on an overall basis, that's what we refer to as the enterprise architecture. The security architecture actually maps to the enterprise architecture because every item we identify on within the enterprise architecture, there are security aspects to it, security dimensions to it. All right. So part of what we're going to talk about, that's basically what we're going to talk about in this section right here. Right. And so this is the slide deck associated with it. Actually, there were two slide decks right here. Topic 2 actually has, actually only one. Sorry about that. I believe there's a duplicate. Believe that would be a duplicate copy. So it's only one. All right. And then topic 3 is what we call access control. Really what it is, it's any combination of mechanisms that we use to ensure that only people who are supposed to be accessing an asset can access that asset. All right. Probably the most noteworthy one that we were talking about access controls is this idea of passwords. That's probably one of the most commonly used forms of access control, but it's not the only one. So what we'll talk about these mechanisms. They take a lot of different forms, so physical, logical, administrative, and then the combination of all of these together really makes up what we refer to as the access control mechanism. So we're going to talk about the types of different types of access control technologies, particularly in like networked environments, because there's a big part. The big part of networking is access control. Because a lot of access is done through networking, so a lot of stuff um, will align with that. We're going to talk about different types of activities around information classification, some of the different access control models and authentication mechanisms. And we'll talk also a little bit about this concept of single sign-on, the challenges of single sign-on, the importance of single sign-on, and some of the techniques that get used, like one-time passwords or smart card to support authentication. This idea of a multi-factor authentication. All right, so that's something we're going to talk about in this um, in 3. All right. So for both of these topics, I've created a participation discussion. I want to, when as you read it, go back, take a look at what the question is, and then add your content to it. I'm trying to. One of the challenges is trying to keep everybody um, engaged, and especially in an environment where we're doing this thing virtually. So trying to get everybody, from a participation and an engagement uh, perspective. So I'm working on. So that is, we're going to be doing these 2 topics. So in addition to the 2 topics, so the recorded lectures, 2 and 3, the decks, 2 and 3, the participation question, 2 and 3, and then in addition to those, I've also added some additional content. So one of the things we're talking about over the course of the next few weeks is this business continuity security policy paper we're working on. All right. So bit by bit, I'm adding information out onto the that we'll be able to go back and use, in constructing this paper. Some, kind of the backstory. We've have described a kind of a base case study. Basically, it's for a school environment, and the what we're going to be looking at doing is putting together a security policy plan and a business continuity plan. So we're going to look at one of the things I also want to look at this week is NIST Special Publication 834. All right, so let's take a quick gander at that. Okay, so this is the contingency planning guide for federal information systems. Now we're talking about this is, originally, targeted at federal information systems, but it has broad applicability, so it's not necessarily limited. It can be applied in any number of situations. All right. So we take a look at kind of this table of contents. What this does is, what this is actually designed to do is basically describe what are the things an organization needs to do in terms of contingency planning and resilience. The idea of being able to maintain and sustain operations in the face of a disruption. All right, so there's a bunch of different things. I mean, this is a very good paper. It's fairly. It covers a lot of stuff in depth, 144 pages, but so we're not have to read every bit of it. But there's pieces within this. If we look at the things we're going to look at, I think is really within this chapter 3, the planning process. So this idea of business impact analysis, contingency strategies, and then testing. So there's a couple things, we're going to be, I think this is really kind of the big, kind of the heart of what we're going to be looking at for our paper here. So I'd like you to, download this paper. This is on the, as I said, it's on the class site. And, look at that section 3 or chapter 3. All right. So let's see if there's everything else we have in here. So we have the content based with the slide deck for 2 and 3. We also have the recorded lectures for 2 and 3, which are associated with those decks. The security question and the associated question go within that, and then also reading the NIST diagram. All right. Oh, that's right. Exam. So we're actually getting, if you look at kind of how we're tracking right now, we're kind of getting up to our timing for exam one. All right. So exam one is going to be, everything in our sections one, 1 through 1 6. All right. And then the stuff we're doing this week, topic 2, topic 3. All right. I'm going to schedule the exam probably a week from, I think, either Monday or Tuesday. Have to see first. All right, but I'll be sending an announcement on it. Okay, but it will cover these topics here. All right, so this will be everything we'll be doing it, and it will look like the quizzes. So the content of the exam will be in a similar form and fashion as the content of the quizzes. All right. I'll also put together a study guide for this as well, so you'll be able to, make you help you focus on, what are the areas you really want to know going into this. Logistically, I think the way I'll probably do this is set up a window on Monday or Tuesday where, the exam will open. You'll be able to connect in online, take the exam, and close out. And it'll probably be like maybe a 3-hour window, because I'm not sure if everybody is on East Coast time. So if we, and when I we'll set the time. If you're in a different time zone or something, it would, we're going to have some issues. Make sure you get back to me, and we can work out an alternative. Okay. So I think that's about everything for this week. I'm doing, also to let you know, I am keeping a watch on attendance, basically. So what I'm doing is, and that's triggered by, when you log into Moodle, it logs the last time you were in. So what I'm doing is on a weekly basis, I'm printing that out and taking a look at it. Main issue is, I think the thing you probably want to think about is, we ordinarily be meeting twice a week, 7 to 9ish, 9:30ish or so. So you probably want to make sure that you're logging in at least once, probably twice a week, and kind of reviewing what we are covering during the week, because we're going to start moving along. We're moving along at a pretty good clip here, so because it is an accelerated semester. So, and I think that is about it for now. All right. If there's any questions around stuff or having issues, I know we got through the issues with the quizzes. If there's anything else we run into, as I said, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll look to try to get it resolved. It does not look right now. I'm not optimistic that we will be meeting on a face-to-face basis over the course of the semester. I think we got the information. I think that came out today indicates that we're going to be probably, in this mode through the end of April at least. So not optimistic around changing modes, but we'll continue to focus on what we've got here and continue to move forward. All right. As I said, any questions, please contact me, and we will continue to move ahead here. All right. All right. Have a good week and be safe. Be seeing you.